Hello, welcome to Secrets of the Stones, where I will be discussing the historical uses of gemstones as they were applied by ancient Daoist physicians. Today's stone is sapphire, which is composed of aluminum oxide, titanium, and iron. Sapphire is a variety of the mineral known as corundum. The hardness is 9, which is relatively high on the Mohs crystal hardness scale. Sapphires have the ability to slow down degeneration and to stabilize the effects of any acupuncture treatment. Sapphires are composed of titanium and iron. The content of either mineral will help determine its shade. So stones with those with more aluminum in them are a lighter blue color. And aluminum helps clear heat from the body. Titanium is beneficial for regenerating damaged organs, restoring the nerves and muscular sinews, and protecting the myelin sheath of the nerves from degeneration. Titanium also has anti-inflammatory properties, and it's protective against radiation. Some sapphires are violet colored, and these might contain traces of vanadium, which is a rare element. Many sapphires are formed around the magma in the deepest levels of the earth. This area of formation is said to give them the capability of bringing the warming energy of the body up to the surface to help break up cold stagnation on the surface. Sapphires are known to descend the chi and to facilitate communication between the heart and the kidney meridians. This stone's effects can be felt along the extraordinary meridian known as the Yang Chao or Yang Heel meridian. Extraordinary meridians do not have their own points, but share points in common with other meridians. In this case, the Yang Chao meridian shares points with the gallbladder meridian on the head, and the triple energizer meridian, which runs from the hand to the side of the head, as well as some points, one on the small intestine and one on the bladder. The meridians also have muscular regions that diverge from their meridian, and these are pictured in red. They're located on the hip, behind the knee, and the back of the shoulder. Sapphire affects the governor vessel as well, which runs along the midline of the back of the body. This is a stone that is especially impactful for those who are always complaining, projecting, or judging their external world. It is appropriate for people who feel that nothing is ever good enough. There are many ways to use this stone. It has a strong propensity for anchoring the kidney yang qi, which is one side of the kidneys, the other side being yin. The kidney yang qi helps the kidneys grasp the qi that has descended to them from all of the other organs. The kidneys will then use this qi to nourish the organs. Anchoring kidney yang qi is beneficial for helping to subdue wind, which is a factor caused by excessive emotions or poor diet. It is a factor related to the liver meridian and is associated with neurological conditions as well as migraines. So sapphire is beneficial for neurological conditions and helps with the disorders that lead to chronic destruction of the nerves. It can help reduce hypertension and alleviate migraines that are caused by stress, especially if these conditions are made worse by stress or fatigue. Sapphire can descend and regulate the qi, and it helps treat symptoms of rebellious qi. Qi rebellion is caused when an emotion gets excessive or there's an imbalance in the organ, and the qi of that organ flows opposite to its natural state. So stomach qi will rebel upward. Normally, stomach qi descends downward. So stomach qi rebelling upward would cause symptoms such as belching, nausea, vomiting. Lung qi would cause coughing or allergies due to stress. Additionally, Sapphire helps reduce the appetite and is beneficial for tight upper back muscles because of its effect on the lateral side of the body, pictured in this image, dragon crouches on the ground. Sapphire is also calming and can help people with panic attacks, nervousness, shakiness, or who exhibit compulsive behavior. It can help alleviate some of the signs of, if worn consistently over a long period. It is said to be helpful for chest pain, asthma, bronchitis, which are all manifestations of qi rebelling upwards. Constriction in the diaphragm could be caused by liver qi rebelling sideways. And it's also good for people who experience postural hypotension or dizziness when they stand after sitting down. Because of its association with the gallbladder meridian, it has an association as well with the liver meridian, which is the gallbladder's inner paired meridian. The liver and gallbladder are linked, and the liver takes care of the yin aspect of the wood, and the gallbladder on the side of the body is responsible for the yang aspect. The liver meridian's trajectory reaches the eyes as well as the vertex of the head, which is why many times in acupuncture they use liver points and liver herbs to help improve the vision. In this case, Sapphire is helpful for reducing floaters in the visual field. It is said to have a salty taste, and which has an effect on the kidneys, and is beneficial for helping with ringing in the ears or tinnitus. Because of its association with the kidneys, it helps heal broken bones and dental transplants. Granted, this would be something to adhere to over a specific course of time. It is also said to clear heat from the blood and work to prevent viruses from consuming the blood and entering the body. It can secure the exterior and protect against electromagnetic radiation. It can also break up static blood, cleanse and regenerate the blood, and may be helpful for people who have naturally high heart rate or bleeding or even parasitic infection. Because of its influence on the yang heel, it reduces accumulations in this meridian that can build up over time and lead to headaches and hip pain. It can be placed over the third eye to strengthen the third eye chakra. And the third eye is located between the eyebrows on the center of the forehead. It was considered a stone of the ancestors and was used to induce trance-like states in order for them to communicate with the deceased. As a protective measure, it was thought to protect against poisoning and envy. And here is a sapphire ring from ancient times. Here's another sapphire ring that's purple. It probably has more vanadium in it. For feng shui purposes, it can be placed in the career section of the home to give enthusiasm for work and creative projects. It can also be placed in the home to help cultivate wisdom and promote honor and integrity in one's life. There are a few specific applications for this stone. Well, let's get into them. Well, first of all, it has a hexagonal crystal structure and an affinity for the wood temperament, which you can see in one of my other videos titled The Foundations in that playlist. During meditation, sapphires can be placed on the spine in 3 points of the spine. The first is directly beneath the tailbone, which is a point known as Governor Vessel 1. The second point is at the level of the navel, but on the back, beneath the second lumbar vertebra. And the third is at the top of the spine, but beneath the C7 vertebra, which is located when you tilt your head downward. And it's the largest bone on the top of at the level of the shoulder blades. These 3 points, especially D14, benefit the governor, conception, and penetrating meridians. These 3 meridians, the conception and the penetrating meridians, run along the midline, the front of the body, and govern the yin qi, while the governor meridian governs the yang qi because it runs on the back of the body. These 3 have a very close relationship with our ancestors and our DNA. So this is an ideal place to put the stone. You can hold the sapphire in the hands or place it over a specific area to protect the body from damage by radiation. For instance, if you had held your phone in your pocket all day, you could use a sapphire over that area to draw out the radiation. And after a treatment, an acupuncture treatment that's designed to regulate the qi in the blood, you can place sapphire on a certain point to help solidify the effects. So if you had a treatment intended to regulate the qi, which usually entails emotional issues, would be a symptoms of a qi dysregulation, mood swings, irritability, pain under the ribs. To solidify a treatment intended to regulate the qi in that way, you could place sapphire on the center of the chest and on a point directly between the nipples, known as Ren 17 or Conception Vessel 17. And you can place another sapphire crystal in the space between the ribs, directly beneath the breast tissue, which is a liver point. The liver 14 point is often used to regulate the qi in the liver meridian, and the liver is actually the meridian that is most responsible for regulating the emotions. It's very changeable and is closely associated with qi. To regulate the blood, you can place a small sapphire stone or massage this sapphire wand on on the inner corner of the knee, in the depression where the muscle bulges. That point is tender on a lot of people, but this can help. This point, spleen 10, will help regulate blood and help with tension in the muscles from stagnation of blood. To solidify a treatment that was intended to regulate both qi and blood, you can use one of the back shu points known as bladder 17, or the influential point for blood. And this point is located on the muscles on either side of the spine that are about one and a half thumb widths next to the lower border of the spinous process of the 7th thoracic vertebra. Sapphire earrings are beneficial for improving the vision and supporting kidney essence. The earrings should contain stones that directly touch the ear. Additionally, you can get small stones and tape them on the ear with surgical tape. Incidentally, the center of the earlobe is where many people get their first earrings as children, and it is the auricular point for improving the vision. So I tried to find some pictures of the kind of earrings that would have the stones directly touching the ears. You can wear a sapphire ring on the thumb to help address asthmatic conditions. Again, this stone would have to be worn consistently over time, in theory. Many stones can be combined together, and one such combination is sapphire and blue topaz, pictured above. These two are beneficial. They work together to regulate the liver qi and to reduce the symptoms of severe allergies, contact dermatitis, or hives. Sapphire elixirs are beneficial for neurological conditions as well as tremors. And the elixir is especially helpful if the tremors are worse with physical activity. The elixir can also be used to address any of the functions and uses mentioned earlier. You can cleanse sapphire once a month under running water and allow it to dry in the sunlight for a little while, or you can place it next to a clear quartz crystal so it can recharge. And I'll leave you with some images of beautiful blue sapphire. Here is a purple sapphire, most likely containing traces of vanadium. Here is the largest sapphire known, weighing 500 pounds. Thank you for joining me today, and hopefully I'll see you in another episode.